Hey everybody, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to my interview with Brandon from Atreyu. Hello,
How are you? Hi, how are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm great. Doing well as well. Well as well. Doesn't sound right, but
I
I'm
think it
good.
kind of rolls off the tongue if you say it like a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, I'm really happy to have you on the show. It's been a minute wanting to make this happen. So, very, very glad it's come to fruition. I just feel like it's the right time to kick things off, just getting right into it because we're getting so close to the release of your new record, Baptized. So, is the anticipation and just the waiting right now kind of killing you, especially since it's right on the horizon?
Absolutely. Absolutely is. I mean, we've been, kind of sitting on this album for some time now. I mean, I've said this before, but we finished this album in the summer, towards the middle end of summer. So it's been a while of just like waiting, and obviously with the pandemic and everything, you're wondering like when's the right time to release music, and if we're gonna wait for tour or not, and this and that. So it's been a long time coming. So we're definitely very excited. Luckily, we've been able to release some singles, which is kind of cool, getting people acclimated with a few of the songs. But I am like a kid on Christmas Eve.
Well, I'm really glad you brought up the singles there because just in anticipation of the release, you've shared a couple of tracks for fans to enjoy. One of those being Warrior, which also comes with a music video, and you're just looking really gnarly, super bloody in that one. So, how much fun was it kind of getting into a costume and looking like you were in a really gruesome fight?
It was brutal. It's funny because everyone's kind of like, it's funny you said look like we were getting in a gruesome fight, and we definitely kind of were. That video was super fun to film, but like I got the shit beat out of me, uh, and like it was fun, but like I was definitely hurting the next day. But I mean, it was awesome. I've been trying to like sell that idea to my band for quite some time, and they're always kind of like, "No, dude, like we're not gonna beat you up in a video." And then finally, I kind of like got them
The
to agree
dream
to it.
came true.
Yeah, and then which is weird that it was me trying to get it, them to do it, but we had to definitely go through the process during filming, like the first few shots where it was like, no, no, guys, like you have to really hit me, like you have to really hit me, and it came to the point where there was a couple that was like, okay, Travis, on this next one, Dan's gonna get me, and then you punch me in the face. Like the only way to get him to actually do it
Yeah.
was like plan it out, but it was fun. It was definitely I think a blowing off steam for everybody, you know?
I definitely had to bring it up because I even saw your Instagram post where you're like, nothing like your friends being the shit out of you. And you know how it can be in production. Things can look so real, but you really don't know what actually happened. So the fact that
Yeah.
these were some legit shots, that's really intense.
Yeah, there's definitely some movie magic, obviously it's fake blood, it's fake bottles, but those bottles, like the sugar glass bottles, they break into like a bunch of little tiny sharp shards of sugar. So like they still hurt when
Of
they,
course.
especially when you're like have a shaved head. And then like obviously a lot of those punches were real. The board on my back was real. Like there was a lot of fun things in that video. But yeah, it had to be, or else you would have been able to tell, I think.
No, it turned out looking fantastic. So I mean, would you say it was worth all the pain, all the
Oh
agony?
yeah. Oh yeah. Our label was horrified when we sent it to them, so we knew we did a good job.
Well, there's a song from the upcoming record, and that one is called Underrated. And I am really digging this one right now. Of course, songs can be interpreted in so many different ways, but to me, it really just feels like this one you're just owning who you are, and people can either love it and accept it, or they can hate it and suck it. So, what kind of made the band want to write this track? What was there a moment where you're like, guys, we're sick of it, let's just write about it?
I think it's just kind of where we've always been as a band. Like we've never been like the easy street band. We didn't ever like got just like skip the line, you're big now and whatever. Like we've really had to kind of fight for everything that we've ever accomplished in, especially now with kind of like with the lineup change and everything like that happening. There was, definitely a lot of people that were doubting what we were capable of. So it was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and like we wrote the music for the song. We kind of had like a chorus, and it was like this song is just like a slap in the face musically. So let's just make the lyrics the same. And like there's kind of like a hush for the haters, and like people that love us are just even more excited. So it worked. It
I
worked
can definitely rally behind it. And from the
for
moment it
sure.
starts, you're right. It is really in your face. Of course, it begins with
Mhm.
the screaming, get the fuck up. And the moment I
Yeah.
heard it, it just absolutely brought me back to live concerts. You know, the band screaming, get up, jump, let's go. So was
Mhm.
that kind of a little nod to live music, or was it simply done in the moment just because it sounded cool? And that's kind of the story.
It definitely both. Like it sounded cool in the studio, but it was like you love those moments. Like in my head, I think it's hilarious to think of somebody like sitting in like like the lobby of their doctor's office on their headphones, listening to our music, and then they just stand up for no reason. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, but like I love doing having those moments in your music that are going to translate live.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like a guidebook to your live show.
Hmm.
So it's like I like giving fans that.
No, definitely. I picked up on it. So I was like,
Good.
maybe there's not a huge story to it. Maybe I'm digging, but it just felt like it, it
Yeah.
evoked that feeling in me right away.
For sure. I really do want to have just in my head, there's people all over the world that are just abruptly standing up for no reason while listening to headphones. That's kind of my dream.
Just speaking to concerts, usually when you release a record, of course, you immediately can tour on it. So some festival dates are coming to fruition, which is super awesome to see. But does it feel strange for you and the guys just not hitting the road right away?
Absolutely. But I think we're all used to it. And there's definitely, you know, conversations being had and plans being made. Obviously, none of which I can mention right now, but it definitely feels weird, especially when you're talking about like your release week. It's like, like when you're talking about, oh, what are we going to do for release week? It's usually like we're on tour, we're playing a show, we're doing a signing, we're doing whatever. So it's like talking about figuring out all the other stuff you can do is definitely strange. But at this point, like, what isn't strange?
Yeah.
Like we're used to it
We're
by
just
now.
living in it.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, we're just like, we're here now. So it's almost even weirder when we talk about going back on tour. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you start getting, emails and having conversations about going back on tour and you're like, wait, what? That's actually going to happen again?
Well,
You
last
guys are
night,
kidding.
yeah. I mean, last night you actually asked fans which city did they want to see you in, and there were so many replies spanning from all over the place. But just to spin the question around, to ask you your own question, are there any cities you're most looking forward to returning to, or any that kind of feel like a home away from home that you're missing a lot?
Absolutely. I miss like international touring a lot, which I don't think we'll even be able to get to do till next year. But
Yeah.
like me and my wife the other day were like, I want to go back to London. I want to just go walk around in London. I want to spend time in like Germany. You know what I mean? Like I love just being in Europe. I love Australia. In the States, I think Chicago has always been our like second home.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love Chicago. I love Toronto. I love New York. I want to play a home show. Like we haven't played a home show in God knows how long. So it's like that's a crazy thing where like a lot of time bands don't play where they're from. When you get to a certain level, it's like you don't play home shows that often. So I just want to play everywhere. What I really miss is like Dubuque, Iowa. That's really I can't wait to go
Really?
back. Literally anywhere. I just want to go play anywhere. I
If
miss every town.
Oh, I bet. I mean, if you could see one band right now, if everything was hypothetically completely cool, safe, who would you just love to see in this very moment?
Um, the band I've been listening to the most lately is a band called Creeper.
Oh my gosh, they're
Um,
great. They're so
I would
good.
love I would love to see Creeper. I think that they have such cool theatrics and I've never seen them before, so I would love to see Creeper.
Oh, they put on such a great live show. Before their record started to break in the UK, I saw them with, I think, like 30 people here in Toronto, and it was
Yeah,
incredible. And of course, it's grown so much. So
for
fingers
sure.
crossed, when we're back to normal, that's when you can hit up.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it.
I have something here that you shared on Twitter that made me laugh because anytime I see a video like this, I think the same. So you said, I hate when singers online make videos of them singing a track and it's obviously, your face tells it all, and it's obviously pre-recorded and edited to hell. No headphones, not even actually making sound. Is this like one of your
Yeah,
biggest pet peeves? Because every time I see it, I'm like, this is so obvious.
I fucking hate it. It's I understand like content. It's you're making content, but like the concept of that is so ridiculous to me. Like, if you're making videos of you singing or acting like you're singing, you're trying to promote yourself as a singer or a performer of some sort. When you make it completely just so brazenly obvious that you are not singing, it's like, well, you're missing the whole point. You're essentially just like making TikTok videos, like,
Yes.
but like you're trying to make people think that you're doing it. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like a purist and like I just love the concept of actually performing and being able to perform. But like, oh, it drives me nuts. There's one dude, and I'm not gonna say his name. There's one dude on Instagram, wherever I fucking see his videos all the time, and he like doesn't have headphones in. He's obviously not singing. It's like the most perfect tuned and like edited vocal, and I'm just like, dude, like you suck, and you probably rip. He's probably a great singer, but it's like no one will ever know. You know, like no one will ever know. It's like the equivalent of like me filming a video of like me like shooting basketballs and then just like dropping basketballs into the net every
Yes,
time. It's like, look how
exactly,
great I am.
actually.
It's like that's not real. But I don't know. It's funny. Like we did some live stream events, and during the thing there was people obviously in the chat. Like our management told us that we're like oh, this is pre-recorded. Like this is bullshit. This is pre-recorded. Like this isn't real. And a bunch of people from my Twitch were in obviously watching the thing, and they're like, have you ever seen his Twitch? Like, go look at his Twitch. You can see him sing into this microphone with no effects, anything. And like, I had people later like messaging me and like, oh man, dude, I'm sorry. It's like, you just got to be able to actually bring the goods, you know?
Yeah, just gotta deliver.
Must. This day and age, it's not a must, unfortunately, but call
That's
me old
true.
school. Call me old school, but I think you should actually be some sort of talented if
Yeah,
you get the opportunity to be in a band for a living.
definitely. Well, the last thing I wanted to ask you about, just speaking to how fired up I can tell from that last question you got, what is another pet peeve of yours? It can be within the music industry or literally just day to day in general.
I think a music industry thing is entitlement. I think there's a lot of entitlement with younger kids in the music industry. There's artists that just like really think that they're fantastic and they're the best thing in the world, but it's like, okay, like you're not. And I understand why people like you, but just be humble and
Yes.
things will be better for you. Um, and then aside from everyday things, one of my biggest pet peeves on earth is leaving the house and then actually the closer I am to the house, the worse it is. Leaving the house and realizing you forgot something and having to go back. If I'm at the
Yes.
end of my driveway, it's worse than
It
if I'm like
hurts your
down the
heart.
street. Oh, I can't. And if I'm like far away, I'm like, oh, okay, like I gotta go back. But if I'm like right there, my head explodes. Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve. It's funny
Both
because
valid.
I could pinpoint that one easily because
Yeah.
it plagues me because I am very I forget things a lot. So it happens a lot.
Yeah, every time I leave, it's always phone, wallet, keys, passport. Every time. Like I literally don't go anywhere without saying that out loud.
Yeah. Thank God for Adam Sandler for that song.
Yes. Yeah, I
You
added
know?
passport, not so much anymore with the pandemic, but hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I love it.
I really do want to say thank you so much for taking the time to hop on here, Brandon. It's been fantastic getting to chat with you, finally get you. So thank you a ton.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. And to everyone watching, this has been Brandon from Atreyu. Be sure to check out their upcoming release, Baptize, and visit Alicia2.com for more exclusive interviews and features. See you next time, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.